What's up, guys? So I'm trying to do these live streams on a daily basis, kind of explaining different betting strategies, different helpful tips for making money sports betting. So in this video, we're going to cover arbitrage. Arbitrage, there's some information in the description, in the comments, there's some articles about it. Do your own research. There are pros, there are cons of arbitrage betting, right? And it is essentially capitalizing on inefficiencies in the market to make a risk-free profit, which sounds crazy. It sounds too good to be true, but essentially you look at any MLB game, right? So this is FanDuel sportsbook, right? You look at how many lines they're posting. I mean, there's so many different games, right? And there's so many different lines, and all of these sports books are trying to set lines independently. All these books have different odds from one another. And essentially, when these books, when their models get really out of sync with one another, sometimes you can bet on equal and opposite outcomes on two sports books to make a risk-free profit, right? So it's risk-free money. There are pros and cons. This is actually how I started out sports betting, how I made my first $40,000 sports betting. So it's just an introduction. I know a lot of people may already know this, but for the new sports bettors, hopefully you find this helpful, right? So essentially, the first thing for arbitrage betting, right, is you're going to need multiple sports books, right? Arbitrage betting is taking advantage of inefficiencies in the market. It's kind of like buying a stock at $10 and selling it at $12, right? You make a risk-free profit of $2. You're not taking an opinion on whether the stock is going to go up or down. You're just buying it for 10 and flipping it for 11. So we'll go through arbitrage betting. I want to cover the pros, the cons, tons of different things like that. And again, like you can see, there's a lot of arbitrage plays on Fliff Sportsbook. So if this isn't a sportsbook you have, you're not going to be able to place those arbitrage bets. But here's an example between BetOnline and DraftKings. So we're just going to go through the math quickly. And the one thing I will say about arbitrage betting is you need to know how to navigate the sportsbooks quickly, right? Like these are inefficiencies in the market. They're not going to last forever, right? You can absolutely make money doing it, but you got to move quick. So what we'll do is we'll kind of go through the math behind this example, right? Here you can see you can get a 0.75% risk-free return. And we'll focus on a smaller example. Just for the sake of argument, DraftKings is a big sports book, so is BetOnline. So let's kind of go through the math, right? You can see they have this major discrepancy in their early lines in where they're pricing this game, right? BetOnline has the Marlins at -205. DraftKings is at -180. It seems like DraftKings is the one that's screwing up because BetOnline and LoVig have the same line. But essentially, you can see right here, you only have to bet $180 to win back 100 on the Marlins on DraftKings, whereas on BetOnline, right, you got to bet only $100 to win 186. So again, this is possible in sports betting because the market is very fragmented. You think about the price of a stock. It's not like Fidelity and E-Trade have different prices for Facebook. It's only in sports betting where the market is so fragmented, inefficient. All these books have different lines from one another. So we'll go through the math very quickly, right? And then we can go through some of the pros and the cons. So the cons are, number one, you need multiple sports books. Number two, you got to move quickly, right? These really big arbitrage bets, the best ones, the highest percentage, risk-free money, right? They're not going to last forever. These are inefficiencies in the market. The sports books will eventually, change their odds, update their odds. But what we can do is we can go through this simple example. And again, there will be more, resources, crap like that in the description, in the comments. So what we can do is we can essentially say, okay, let's say you have $500 on DraftKings, right? You're only going to make a risk-free profit of $583. I'm not saying that's glamorous, but again, this is a lower arbitrage play, and this bet would take you, log into DraftKings, right, navigate to the Marlins game. This bet doesn't exactly take a long time to place. This is risk-free money we're talking about. And we can essentially just follow the calculator. So it's telling us put $500 on DraftKings on the Marlins at -180 odds, right? And then the calculator tells us bet 271.95 on BetOnline on the Nationals at +186. So let's just round to 272 on the Nationals at +186 on BetOnline. So this is our arbitrage play, right? Now, there's two outcomes. Either the Nationals win or the Marlins win. And we're going to make risk-free money in either case due to the massive discrepancy in where books are setting their lines. So what we can do is we can put in DraftKings profit, we can put in BetOnline profit, and then net profit, right? And let's get rid of these numbers from yesterday's live stream, and let's see how this works, right? So arbitrage betting, this is a trading strategy. You can do your own research. This is what a lot of sports betting syndicates do, sharp bettors to make risk-free money, right? This is just math. So if the Nationals win the game, we're down $500 on DraftKings, right? We bet them for $500 on DraftKings. So if the Nationals win, we're down $500 on DraftKings. But on BetOnline, we bet the Nationals for $272 at plus 186 odds. So we're going to be up 505.92 on BetOnline. So we're up 592 in profit, right? 272 at plus 186 odds means you made 505.92. Anyways, let's go here. So we made money if the Nationals win due to this massive discrepancy in sportsbook odds. Again, this is a very simple strategy, nothing complicated. Now, if the Marlins win, we're down $272 on BetOnline, right? Minus 272. So we're down money. That doesn't seem too good. But on DraftKings, we're up 500 times 100 over 180. We're up 277. We made money over $5, roughly $5.90 in both scenarios. Again, if you follow this calculator exactly, right, then you'll make $5.83. You'll make the exact same profit regardless of who wins. I just rounded the numbers on BetOnline. It just makes sense, doesn't freak out the sportsbooks as much. It looks a little weird to bet 271.95. So I always recommend rounding your numbers, right? And we made a risk-free profit. That is now money we get back tomorrow. We're $5 richer. And I'm not saying it's glamorous, but I used to get home from work every day. This is not a game for the lazy. You got to have multiple sports books. You got to move quickly, but you can make risk-free money doing it. And I would essentially just go here. You can see a huge one between Bovada and DraftKings, two big sports books, right? So go to DraftKings quickly, go to Bovada quickly, lock this in. You know, let's say you have another $250 on DraftKings. It's going to tell you bet roughly $200 on Bovada. You make a risk-free profit of $18.50. So you never know when the best arbitrage bets are going to occur, right? These are inefficiencies in the market. You can see sportsbooks moving around lines. It looks like Bovada had this at plus 150. They already dropped it to plus 135. So you never know when the best arbitrage plays are going to occur. So that's one thing. But again, this is something you can do anytime from home as long as you have multiple sports books. Sports betting, like the sports books are never closed. This is, the stock market closes at 4 p.m. Sports books are open 24/7. There can be inefficiencies in the market at any time. Sometimes after player injuries, if a player gets injured, there will be really big arbitrage bets because all the lines start moving around. If LeBron James gets injured, that affects every other player on the Lakers. All their player prop lines, all the odds have to start to move around. Who's going to have the ball more in place of LeBron? And that means opportunities for sportsbooks to slip up. Now, the downside is you got to move quickly. There may be times you go and the odds have already changed, right? And that's not good, right? Obviously, that sucks. Is you have to move quickly because if you don't move quickly enough and get both your bets down on DraftKings and Bovada, then the arbitrage opportunity goes away. So that's the first downside. And again, it may not seem that glamorous, but literally I used to get home from work, hit a bunch of them for $100, $200, make $23 here, go to the next one, pull up Fliff and PointsBet, hit this one, make a risk-free profit of $5, go to the next one, hit it, keep going down the list. And you hit like 10 arbitrage bets for $10, you're at $100 profit. Now, you got to move quickly. One thing a lot of people will say is, I'm only able to bet on Bovada on this WNBA player prop $250. That sucks. It's like this is a risk-free 23-26. A lot of people think this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to be able to bet on WNBA player props $250,000 or $25,000. The markets aren't that liquid, right? Sportsbooks don't have that big of bet sizes. Like Fliff, for example, has a really good arbitrage play right here. But again, the max bet size on Fliff is only $250. And granted, if you have access to PointsBet, That's a risk-free 63.16 in your profit, in your pocket, by the time this game's over. But still, again, this is a game for hustlers. You can make a lot of money doing it, but you're not going to be able to hit an arbitrage bet for $50,000. You're going to have to place a bunch for $200, pull in 10, 20 bucks here and there, build your bankroll that way, right? So again, I used to get home from work, hit like 10 arbitrage bets, make $10 off each one. That's $100 a day, $3,000 a month, made $40,000 in my first year arbitrage betting. That's how I started out sports betting. And again, you never know when the best plays are going to occur, and you need multiple sports books. So here you can see a really good one between DraftKings and FanDuel just popped up. Two of the main sports books out there, right? And you can see they just moved the line. So the odds just changed. So you got to move quickly. But again, this is risk-free money. This is a strategy. Sharp bettors, sports betting syndicates, tons of people implement to make risk-free money sports betting. So hopefully this was helpful. Again, I'm just trying to do videos covering a variety of sports books. We'll do tutorials on all the major sports books, parlay play, prize picks, hot streak, stuff like that on live stream. See if we can hit some bets as well. Currently, I'm not in a state where FanDuel is legal, but once I'm in a state where FanDuel is legal or PointsBet, currently I have access to Fliff, but I'm in California, which doesn't have a ton of sports books. But when I'm in a state where sports betting is legal, I'll hit a bunch of arbitrage bets on the live stream. We can all make risk-free money together. It'll be a fun time. So that's all I got. Hopefully this was helpful. As always, if you have questions, feel free to email me, alex@oddsjam.com. Happy to answer any questions about arbitrage betting, stuff like that, how to make risk-free money. You got to move quickly. You got to have multiple sports books. And again, you're not going to get rich quick. You're not going to make $1 million in a day. Seems like everyone wants to do that nowadays. This is making 20 bucks every couple minutes. For me, graduating college, that wasn't a bad deal. Get home from work, hit an arbitrage bet for, even $100 on my Fliff account, make $20 risk-free. No brainer way to build your bankroll. You have no risk. So yeah, thanks so much.